whatever happened to some of your favorite TV stars? Marion Ross, Tim Conway, Doris Roberts, and Ron Glass? Well, we just found them on the set of TNT's Major Crimes. And now that they're all together, how are they getting along?
They ready? And action.
Just because something's old doesn't mean it's not serving a good purpose.
You know, you're going to have to forgive Vera. Her eyesight is not what it was. It's so extraordinary because of all my buddies here.
This is television history, for God's sakes.
They're very snooty, and there's never a parking place for me.
At 79 years young, Tim Conway isn't fooling anyone. He made his mark on the Burnette show and still has a passion for those of the female persuasion.
The ladies, I like too. You know, I like all ladies, but, well, except for one. Well, she was the matron at the prison, and would always bring the soup cold.
Oh, he's a hoot.
He's pretty extraordinary.
I read the script, and then I immediately said, I don't want to do this. Then, no.
These are not that hard to write. Who couldn't write that?
It's kind of hard for us to settle down and try to really be serious just because we think we're playing.
Martinis at lunch? So 80s. I feel like I'm sort of on a vacation.
TV legends like Barney Miller's Ron Glass, Raymond's mother, and Mrs. C from Happy Days all came together to booze, schmooze, and be smack in the middle of a murder.
I can see that with the badges and the guns.
Marion Ross looking fierce at 84 and still with Happy Days on the brain.
I'd give you a lollipop, but you're on a diet.
My line is, yes, we did. We all worked together on Prognosis Happy Days, I said. I'm supposed to say Prognosis Homicide. It ran from 72 to 79.
I have a motto. I don't give in, I don't give up, I don't settle, and I never take no for an answer. It keeps me alive and going.
At 87, Doris Roberts is going strong. All the icons thrilled to guest star Monday night with TNT's Major Crimes cast, the next generation of TV stars who Marion says were raised on shows like hers.
I can tell how old they are because I know how many years it's been since Happy Days. I'll say, are you a rerun kid?
The cast clearly loved having all those icons together. And speaking of TV legends, Partridge family mom Shirley Jones reportedly just gave in to Joan Collins's demands to remove a particularly racy portion of her memoir.
And I sat down with Shirley, who had claimed Joan propositioned her for group sex with their husbands back in the 60s. Well, Joan denied that story and sent Shirley's publisher, Simon & Schuster, a cease and desist letter.
Scandal. Reports say they've agreed to remove Joan's name from future printings of the books.
Now, whatever did or did not happen in the 60s, it'll have to stay there.
Right.
It'll have to stay there. Now, we'll be right back.
Partridge, Shirley Jones at 79, getting racy.
You're a very freaky girl.
I know.
Her wild sex life.
A three-way street there with another woman.
Partridge, Shirley Jones, 79 years young, and spilling secrets about her sexcapades and her ex-husband's bipolar battle.
He started thinking he was Jesus Christ. He'd take his clothes off and run down the street naked.
Who knew Mrs. Partridge was so kinky? Most shocking sexual encounters. Were you kind of nervous to put that in a book?
Definitely.
Happy Days star, Joni's BFF, Jenny Piccolo, a.k.a. Cathy Silvers. She's 52 now, and she really got candid with me about everything from a health scare to her struggle with alcohol to the hit show that made her a star.
You hang around at the YMCA? I'm thin. I can fit in their lockers.
What was it like being on Happy Days when it was the hottest show on television?
It was phenomenal. It was the most amazing work experience of my life.
The daughter of Phil Silvers, best known as Sergeant Bilko, was cast as the bubbly, boy-crazy friend, a perfect part for the 19-year-old.
It was shocking. I mean, when I walked on the set, I'm like, there's the Vaughns.
You know what that is?
You had your cats knit into boots. There's Joni Cunningham.
There's Scott Baio.
Right? There's Scott Baio. And it's like,
Joni, what happened to that old Jenny Joni team spirit? You're crazy.
Those were truly happy days for Cathy, but when the hit show ended, real life was a far cry from the upbeat sitcom. Tell me about that time in your life. You're facing a real health crisis. The doctors are telling you you need to have a double mastectomy. How scared were you?
To say to a woman, we need to remove your breasts, it's like, you know, take an arm, take a leg, but not that part of my body.
Cathy told me she sought alternative Eastern medicine.
So within 2 weeks of drinking herbs and acupuncture, I went back to the hospital that was about to do, it was my pre-op for this surgery. They took x-rays and there was nothing there.
You got sober about 14 years ago.
Yes, I realized that I am what's called a periodic alcoholic. I would have a glass of wine or 2 or 3, and then I couldn't safely drive home. I knew it was time for me to stop drinking, and I will be 14 years sober on September 2nd of this year.
Things have also been challenging for her former friend and co-star Erin Moran, reportedly on a downward spiral and at one time homeless. We were talking about Erin. You guys were really close friends.
We were.
She's had some tough times since then. Have you stayed in touch with her?
We have not.
If, you know, she were to reach out to you, would you embrace that?
Oh my gosh, yes.
We met up with Cathy at the Hollywood show. She's made a career out of her healthy lifestyle, inspiring others with her book, Happy Days, Healthy Living, and a Healthy Living website. Any chance for a Happy Days reunion? Go, we hear the whispers every now and again.
I'm going to whisper right now. Let's have fun.
Let's do it, lady. Until then, she's spending time with her 5 kids and her husband. David, there's a picture of them today. She looks absolutely incredible, by the way. She told me that she's a stay-at-home mom, but she also works as a healthy living coach. And let me tell you something, it shows. She looks fantastic.
She is living